6 on your side at 5 starts now.
Today, I will be issuing a statewide stay-home order for all of Idaho.
Governor Little takes Idaho to the next level in its fight to reduce the coronavirus by issuing a 21-day stay-at-home order. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining me tonight. I'm Roland Barris in for Don Nelson. Our top story today, immediate new restrictions as the state moves past 100 cases of COVID-19. The governor says he made the move in following CDC recommendations after community spread of the virus began.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Don Nelson.
And I'm Karen Lair. We begin tonight with some breaking news. A new county-wide mask order aims to slow and prevent the transmission of COVID-19 in Ada County. Just moments ago, Central District Health Board members voting overwhelmingly to approve the measure, which takes effect immediately.
The order will make it mandatory for people in Ada County to wear a face covering that completely covers their nose and mouth when in public places where others are present, and it's not possible to maintain 6 feet of social distancing. The move comes as COVID-19 cases spike in Idaho, with Ada County a hotspot. For the last week, Idaho has averaged more than 400 new cases of coronavirus infections every day. We are quickly closing in on 12,000 total cases in the Gem State and have topped 100 deaths. Ada County is still in stage 3 of the governor's plan for reopening the economy. Just last Thursday, Governor Brad Little announced the rest of the state will spend at least another 2 weeks in stage 4. The hope is the extra precautions will fight further spread and will allow the state to see a downward trend in new cases.
We will not comply! A couple hundred people showed up at City Hall to show their displeasure towards Mayor McLean's public health order that will require masks to be worn in public places starting on Independence Day.
We should have freedom to make our own choices and do our research and to ask questions and to have conversations and to not be bullied because we're standing up for something that's not mainstream. And everybody wants to have a voice and have a choice and have freedom. So that's why we're here today, is just saying, hey, like, this is not cool.
The mayor mandated wearing masks in an effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus, but these protesters view her order as unconstitutional.
When are we going to stand up? When are we going to push back and reclaim our freedom? Our founding fathers did it over tea, over taxation. Now our government are trying to control every aspect of our life.
The protests also had people gathering signatures and voicing their opinion to recall both the governor and the mayor of Boise.
That's why I brought this. For anybody who wants to burn their mask, it's time to unmask the governor. Governor, mayor, we can't breathe.
And the protesters did just that.
This one's for Governor Little.
It might just be a mask today, but it's going to be something else tomorrow. This is America. This is the greatest country in the world. Yes, it is. Everybody comes here in flocks because they love the freedom that we have here, and that's what sets us apart, is that we are a free country. And so that's why we're here. We're standing up peacefully, kindly saying, no, thank you. I'll wear a mask if I want to, but you can't tell me that I have to. And I'm not going to pay a fine or go to jail or get a misdemeanor because I won't cover my face.
Today, spectators and protesters gathered and filled the State House galleries, hoping to testify during the special session. The gallery is set to allow for physical distancing, and due to the limited amount of people being able to fit inside at once, it does fill up quickly. When the gallery reached capacity on Monday, Idaho State Police blocked the doors and protesters chanted, "Let us in." Ultimately, a glass door was shattered. House Minority Leader Alana Rebel says it became a dangerous health issue.
Everything jam-packed with people, the halls jam-packed with people, none of them wearing masks, all sitting shoulder to shoulder in a closed, compressed space. If there is anybody in those rooms that has COVID, everybody will have it. I mean, this is just, it's textbook what not to do during a pandemic that is going on all throughout the Capitol.
Protesters and others in the public will have the ability for public comment later in the session.
Roland, today was an absolutely eventful day at the State House today. Literally just about 5 or 10 minutes ago, we saw famed protester Ammon Bundy being pulled into a police car. He's apparently in custody, and not only that, he seemed to be tied up to a chair with zip ties or something similar. We just saw that about 5 minutes ago, but take a look behind me at all of these police cars. Boise Police Department and Idaho State Police are staging in front of the Idaho State Capitol right now. And this comes after an eruption of angry protesters screaming in a House Judiciary Committee earlier this afternoon. And one of those people were arrested, according to the Idaho State Police, for trespassing.
Tonight on 6 on Your Side at 10, a shooting at a senior living center in Caldwell leaves 2 people dead and 3 others injured, including a police officer. Plus, after weeks of speculation, an arrest in the missing Idaho kids case that's garnered national attention. And later in the newscast, a controversial bill takes a step forward at the State House. Hear from both sides about legislation that would restrict trans women athletes from competing in cisgender women's sporting events.
6 on Your Side starts with this developing story.
Thanks for joining 6 on Your Side tonight. I'm Don Nelson. Our top story at 10 o'clock, an update to a story we first brought you as breaking news online and in our 5 o'clock broadcast. 2 people are dead and 3 more were injured after a shooting in a senior citizens apartment complex near a Walmart on 10th and Ustick in Caldwell. 6 on Your Side, Steve Dent joins us live from the scene with more. Steve?
Well, Don, just after 4 o'clock this afternoon, the Caldwell Police Department responded to an active shooting situation at this apartment complex behind me. Now, in the past hour, a lot of those authorities have left. Police aren't providing a lot of details at this time. We do know that 2 people were killed, including the shooter. That's according to the Idaho State Police. 3 others were injured, including a Caldwell police officer. Oh, when we arrived earlier today, it was a very active scene, and that continued well into the night as authorities attempt to figure out what happened. We do know the injured police officer got sent to the hospital but is expected to recover with minor injuries. We don't know the status of the other 2 people that were hurt. This has become a critical incident task force case, which means 4 different agencies, including the crime labs from Canyon County, Caldwell, Nampa, and the Idaho State Police, are working together to sort out the tragic events that happened here tonight in Caldwell.
Across the country, vigils, protests, and demonstrations continue as people demand justice in the death of George Floyd and changes to the treatment of Black Americans by police. Last night, thousands of Idahoans flooded the State House steps for a Black Lives Matter hosted candlelight vigil. Frankie Canafias was at the vigil, speaking with attendees about the change they hope to see.
Hopefully that we can move forward together from this.
Some protests across the country have turned violent at times, but not in Boise.
A peaceful event like this was a way for everybody to convene and really just get the opportunity to show their side.
This attendee telling us,
I feel like this is an event for everybody to really get their chance to be heard and for both sides of the coin to really be seen.
One of the organizers says the sole purpose of the Black Lives Matter candlelight vigil is
about mourning their lives and nothing else. Right. No other agendas.
Hoping those who chose to stand in solidarity will
leave with this on their heart and their minds, that their willingness to get into uncomfortable spaces, uncomfortable conversations, and to seek change and move the needle in their lives, in their homes, in their families, in their communities.
Frankie Catafias, Idaho News 6.
About 20 minutes after the Black Lives Matter vigil ended peacefully, protesters marched back and forth from downtown Boise to the steps of the State House, chanting and waving posters with their message. Police were supervising until early this morning, but the gathering did remain peaceful. In the Magic Valley, the community gathered to hear from speakers and share 9 minutes of silence, mourning the loss of George Floyd, who died, of course, after an officer held his knee on Floyd's neck for just over 8 minutes. Organizers say the event in Twin Falls City Park wasn't a protest or rally, but is about giving people a space to heal.
Thanks for joining Idaho News 6. I'm Don Nelson. Tonight, we head directly to our top story, the issue of policing in Boise. Downtown peaceful tonight as the city council debated the issue of police funding. As you can see, still dozens of people down at the corner of Capitol and Main. This after concerns in the lead up to a planned Black Lives Matter demonstration after confrontations with counter-protesters last month, some of whom had white supremacist patches and tattoos. The mayor issuing a statement Monday asking people to avoid downtown and leave children at home after receiving threats of violence. Black Lives Matter moved their protest to Boise State. In response to those concerns, while some counter-protesters still demonstrated downtown, you can see the police are out there in numbers doing their job, taking care of people who are causing trouble. Police proactively, by the way, set up barriers this morning down there to keep demonstrators separate and safe tonight as they exercise their First Amendment rights. The chief addressing media after most of the demonstrations had died down earlier.
The search for 2 missing Idaho children came to a tragic ending Saturday when officials confirmed the human remains found on Chad Daybell's property belonged to siblings JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan. Now, communities across the Gem State are coming together to pay their respects, including right here in Boise. That's where we find Idaho News 6 reporter Steve Dent tonight with more from the vigil.
I'm here at a candlelight vigil for JJ and Tylee, and it's clear that the heartbreak as a result of the devastating outcome of this case has been felt far and wide. Organizers in the Boise community who didn't even know each other came together to make this vigil a reality. And although they tell us they feared the worst because the children were missing for so many months, they never suspected this kind of tragedy to happen in Idaho.
Even though we kind of already knew the outcome, it is very sad. You know, it's crazy to see what's actually happened and what's, you know, kind of came out of this, and it's just so devastating, especially to the family. I've been in contact with the family and they're very heartbroken.
Organizers of the vigil live streamed the event to the Vallows' grandparents. They also read a statement from the grandparents and conducted a prayer on their behalf. This is a story we've been following for months, and we will continue to follow it as the fight for justice continues for JJ and Tylee.
For the third time in less than 2 weeks, the Central District Health Board met to vote on a public health order this afternoon, met by a huge crowd of protesters. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Karen Lair.
And I'm Don Nelson. What was different today? The board actually voted, but a tie vote means nothing changes. Boise police were well prepared in case things got out of hand. Our Nicole Camarda has been following along all afternoon long. She joins us live from the Central District Health headquarters with the latest.
Yeah, that's right. There was no order that was passed. It was a tie. So the proposed order that was for Ada, Boise, Elmore, and Valley counties is not going through. The prior advisory that was put in place in November will remain as is. But again, it is just an advisory. It is not mandatory. Around 2:30 this afternoon, this entire parking lot was just full of people standing out here. They were singing, they were praying, they were holding signs showing how much they did not want this order to pass. And they were out here just all afternoon. The last group of them just cleared out just a few minutes ago. Boise police was also out here. They had a line of police officers lined up right in front of the building, as well as a few Idaho State police officers. Again, this order did not pass. It was a tie, 3-3 between the board members, and the same advisories that were already in place will remain as they are. Live at Central District Health, Nicole Camarda, Idaho News 6.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Scott Dorval with the On Your Side forecast.
And we're back live at the Winter Carnival of McCall in front of the amazing castle. It's got a maze inside it, so it's a perfect name for it. We're in front of Ruby's Kitchen right now, and it's really been comfortable. I don't even have gloves on right now. Temperatures have been hovering just enough to hold the snow in place, but the roads have been wet. I want to show you once again the video. This castle here got number 2. Number 1 sculpture, as judged this afternoon, on the top of Brundage Mountain. Check out this sculpture, and it's huge from what I understand. And for $10, you can take the chairlift up and go check that on out. And it's probably going to hang around all winter time with the cold temperatures, of course, with some new snow on it. But beautiful live, or I should say beautiful aerial views of what it looks like over the castle and throughout this entire region here. Just beautiful to watch the clouds kind of lift during the afternoon today. Turned out to be a great afternoon. And I saw a little bit of sunshine just a little while ago.
Toys for Tots season is here, and every year Idaho News 6, Albertsons, Blue Cross, and your local Toyota dealers partner with the U.S. Marines to help make the holidays brighter for thousands of Treasure Valley children. Our Karen Lair is live at the Albertsons at Eagle and Fairview. How's it going, Karen? Keeping busy?
It's going great, yeah. Keeping busy. I'm like Santa's help, but even better, I'm helping our local Marines fill some orders for the Toys for Tots campaign. And we're at the local Albertson stores where you guys have probably seen those big Toys for Tots bins out in the front of the stores over the last couple of weeks. But those are all getting picked up tomorrow because there's a lot of toys to sort, and the Marines are here to talk to us about this. We have First Sergeant Craig Wilcox joining us, and people can also make cash donations, and that helps you guys kind of fill a gap where you need it towards the end of the campaign, right?
Yes, ma'am, and that's exactly what's happening here tonight. This toy purchase right here is being done based off of donations that we've already got this year.